She's still watching you. Through the silence, through the distance, she never really looked away, but she won't say a word. No message, no call, just silence. And the question lingers. Why? In this video, we're not just going to talk about her, we're going to talk about you. About the mindset of a Stoic man, why her silence doesn't matter, why your focus must remain unshaken, and how true power comes not from being wanted, but from mastering the art of walking alone, with purpose. This is for the men building in silence. Let's begin. Number one, she's watching, but silent. She's watching you. She's more present than you think. She's there in ways you wouldn't even notice. Liking your post without ever actually hitting the like button, reading your updates without, leaving a comment, quietly observing your every move, yet never truly engaging. It's like she's on the other side of the glass, close enough to see everything, but never reaching through. She sees what you've been doing. She knows about your growth, your progress. She sees you glowing, transforming, becoming someone more disciplined, more focused. She's noticed the changes, the calmer tone of your voice, the sharper look in your eyes, the newfound sense of control in your life. But despite it all, she won't reach out. She won't comment on your success, won't send a message, won't try to reconnect. Why? Not because she's forgotten you, not because you meant nothing to her, but because pride speaks louder than the heart. Reaching out would require something more, vulnerability. And vulnerability is something that terrifies many people. It would mean admitting she's still affected, that there's something in her heart that hasn't fully moved on, that maybe, just maybe, there's a piece of her that still lingers, still thinks about what was. But she'll never let you know that. She'll keep her distance because facing the truth would require bravery. It would require facing emotions she's not ready to confront. So she stays silent. She watches from the comfort of the screen, from the safety of the distance. She's there in the shadows of your life, waiting but never acting. Silent. Yet in her silence, there's an echo. She's aware of every change, every shift, every moment in your journey. And it's not that she doesn't care, it's that she can't show it, because showing it would expose too much of herself. So instead, she keeps quiet, watches your progress from afar, and allows pride to control her. Number two, pride is a prison. We live in a world where ego often matters more than connection, where people value their image over emotional honesty. In a world that teaches us to keep our feelings hidden, to avoid showing weakness, it's no wonder that many choose silence over speaking their truth. You might have felt it. People around you thinking about you, constantly running through the memories you shared, replaying those moments in their minds. They remember everything, the good, the bad, the moments of laughter, the conversations, the shared experiences. But what do they do with all that? They keep it to themselves. They won't pick up the phone, won't send a message, won't ask how you're doing. Instead, they remain locked in silence, prisoners of their own pride. Why? Because reaching out would mean accountability. It would mean breaking the silence they've held onto for so long. It would mean confronting the reality of their own actions and acknowledging that they walked away from something meaningful. It would mean admitting that they made a choice to stay silent rather than face what's real. Instead of knocking on the door, they stand across the street, watching it from a distance, hoping it might open on its own. They're afraid of what's on the other side, afraid that if they knock, they might have to face feelings they've been trying to avoid. They hope for a sign, a gesture from you, but they won't take the first step. They won't break the silence because doing so would require them to show vulnerability, to confront the truth of their own pride. This isn't love. This isn't care. It's ego, pure ego, masked as silence. They tell themselves that they're protecting their emotions, that they're preserving their sense of control, when in reality, they're just afraid. They're afraid to feel, afraid to admit that something still matters, afraid to acknowledge that they could still be affected. And here's the truth. It's not your job to open the door for someone who refuses to knock. You don't have to chase anyone. You don't have to wait for someone to come around. You don't have to keep wondering if they'll ever reach out, if they'll ever realize what they've lost. You've already moved on. You've already made progress, grown stronger, and become someone more in control of your life. The right people will show up. They'll knock on the door. They won't stand across the street, waiting for you to open it. They'll walk through it with open hearts, without hesitation, without fear of vulnerability. So stop waiting. Stop wondering. Don't carry the weight of someone else's pride. They will either break free from their ego and meet you halfway, or they'll stay where they are, trapped in their own silence. Either way, it's not your problem to fix. You've already moved forward. Let them catch up if they're ready. Don't wait around for someone who refuses to take the first step. Number 3, the Stoic response. This is where Stoicism becomes your greatest weapon. The Stoic individual doesn't get emotional over what they can't control. They understand the fundamental principle. Life is full of things you cannot change. You can't control the weather, the traffic, or even the actions of others. So why waste energy on them? The Stoic man doesn't spiral into questions that have no answers. He doesn't seek closure from others because he understands that closure comes from within. He doesn't make decisions based on the hope of getting a reaction, the hope of someone noticing him, or the hope that someone will finally acknowledge what they've done. Stoicism teaches one thing above all: control your mind, not the world. You cannot control if she reaches out. You cannot control if she regrets her silence. You can't control how others act or feel about you. But here's the thing: you can control how you respond. And the response is simple, yet profound. You keep building. You keep moving forward. You keep growing. You become so focused on your own path that everything else becomes irrelevant. The distractions, the silent watchers, the ones who stand still and wait. None of it matters anymore. You've got a mission, you've got a purpose, and you are relentlessly pursuing it. Let her watch, let her stay in the background, silently observing your progress. But the one thing you must never do is stop walking. You don't stop because someone else is silent. You don't stop because someone refuses to acknowledge you. You don't let their inaction hinder your journey. Your path is yours to walk, and no one else can determine how far you go or how fast you move. So keep moving forward. Keep building your strength, your character, your life. Your response to silence is progress. Your response to indifference is growth. And as you continue on your path, you'll find that the noise behind you, the distractions, and the invisible observers, none of it matters anymore. You have a goal, and nothing is going to stop you from reaching it. Number 4, focus on the inner world. It's tempting to wonder what she's thinking. You start asking yourself questions. Is she missing you? Does she still care? Is she waiting for you to message first? These questions linger in your mind, like echoes bouncing off the walls. But here's the problem. Every time you ask yourself these questions, you're shifting your focus outward instead of inward. You're looking for answers in places where answers don't exist, and every second you spend in that thought process is wasted energy. A Stoic man understands the importance of energy. His mind is his battlefield, and every thought matters. Thoughts are powerful. They shape your actions, your emotions, and ultimately the direction of your life. The energy spent wondering about someone else's emotions is energy taken away from your own growth. So what does a Stoic do instead? He turns his focus inward. Instead of thinking about what she's doing, he thinks about his goals, his purpose, his next step. He redirects his energy to the one thing he can control, himself. While others are stuck in the loop of wondering about someone else's thoughts or feelings, the Stoic seeks alignment. He seeks alignment with his values, his discipline, and his mission. The Stoic man does not look for approval. He looks for purpose. He doesn't wait for someone to react to him because he's too busy making sure his actions are aligned with the life he wants to create. He doesn't spend time seeking attention from others because he already understands the value of internal validation. You don't evolve by reacting to the world. You evolve by refining yourself every day in silence, just like she is. But the key difference is this: her silence observes while your silence builds. She might watch your journey from afar, but you're actively constructing yours. She might wonder about you, but you're not wasting a single moment wondering about her. While she stands still, you keep moving. And that's what makes all the difference. Your growth, your inner peace, your strength, these things cannot be disturbed by someone else's silence or inaction. You're too busy mastering your own inner world to be affected by the noise in theirs. And in the end, it's your journey that will matter the most. Number 5, she lost access, not you. Here's a truth you must accept. She didn't lose you because you weren't enough. She didn't walk away because something was wrong with you. No, the truth is, she lost access to you because she couldn't match where you were going. She couldn't keep up with your growth, your vision, your evolution, while she was caught. In the past, stuck in a pattern or unsure of herself, you were building, you were evolving. You were moving towards something bigger, something better, and she just couldn't keep pace. Now, she watches from a distance, the version of you she never got to experience. The stronger version, the version of you who stands taller, speaks with clarity and moves forward without hesitation. She's watching the focused version of you, the one who's learned not to chase validation, not to seek approval from anyone. That's the version of you she missed, the one she let slip away. And yes, that stings, even if she'll never admit it. She might try to ignore it, pretend it doesn't matter, but deep down, she knows she let something valuable go. But here's where you need to be cautious. Don't let her regret become your motivation. Don't fuel your growth by hoping she'll feel sorry or wish she'd made a different choice. That's still a form of dependence. That's still tying your evolution to her actions. Your growth needs to be about something bigger than her, bigger than the past. It needs to be about your future, the person you are becoming, the life you're building. Your growth should be about leaving a legacy, about finding inner peace that doesn't rely on anyone's recognition. The kind of peace that stands on its own, without needing applause, without needing attention. The kind that's rooted in the truth of who you are, independent of external validation. So let her watch, let her wonder. But don't let her absence dictate your worth or your progress. You didn't lose anything. She lost access to you. And now your growth is for something much more meaningful, your own journey. Number 6, you're not waiting. You're evolving. Let her watch, let her wonder. Let her sit in the silence she created, because the man she once knew is gone. That version of you, the one she had access to, the one who might have waited, who might have chased or tried to make things work, is no longer here. That man has been replaced with someone sharper, someone calmer, someone wiser. And this new version of you, he's not bitter, he's not angry, he's just aware of what he's become, aware of his purpose, and aware of his worth. He understands that you don't chase someone who walked away. You don't keep fighting for someone who chose to leave. You don't water a plant that uprooted itself, expecting it to bloom again in the same place. You don't pause your progress, your growth, hoping someone will eventually notice what they lost. That's not who you are anymore. You've moved past that. The truth is, you were never waiting. Not really. You were transforming. You were evolving. While others were stagnant, wondering, or keeping their distance, you were busy, building the future you've always wanted. The future that doesn't require someone else's recognition to be valuable. The future where your own efforts and progress are the only things that matter. And now, your journey belongs to you. It's not about her curiosity. It's not about her silence. It's not about the past, it's just you, your path, and the man you've become, so let her sit in that silence. Let her wonder if she made the right choice. You're no longer waiting for her to notice you, to come back, or to regret anything. You've already stepped into the life you were meant to create, and no one else can take that from you. Your growth, your journey, your evolution, it belongs to you, and it always has. You don't need a message from her to move forward. You don't need to be seen to matter, because a man of purpose doesn't pause for validation. He builds regardless. She may never reach out. And that's not your loss, it's hers. So let her watch, let her stay silent. You have work to do, you have a future to build, and you don't rise by looking back. You rise by staying grounded, focused, unshaken. If this spoke to you, hit like, subscribe, and keep walking your path. Because Stoicism isn't just a philosophy, it's a lifestyle, and your time is now.